I love reading webtoons. I don't know why my voice turned out like that, but let's continue. It is hands down my favorite activity other than watching TV series. Unlike TV series, during which I can, eat and watch, I can kind of multitask. I need to physically scroll through the webtoons when I'm reading them. And this is really inconvenient because if I want to eat while reading webtoons, I cannot do it because one of my hands has to like scroll through the page. For example, this. And the other reason is my scroller on my mouse is not working, it's broken now. So I was always looking for an alternative to doing it. I do not want to use like the downward key, it's kind of annoying. And yeah, so I just decided to automate it using Python when I learned about it. And today you can learn to build your own Webtoon scroller if you're interested. So we're gonna use pyautogui, which is the module that helps us automate images, texts, and actions, like, for example, clicking, scrolling, things like that. And then we also import time. I will get to why we need the time module. Usually, time's already installed within your Python environment, but you would need to like run Python pip install Python pyautogui before you get to import it in your file. So let's get started with a few basic functions before I actually get to the program. And I assume I'll just take about 2 minutes to explain everything. So we're going to look at the working size. That is because this is Pi or the GUI. I'm assuming we're pretty much using the workable screen space, that is just the screen space around here, to as our working space for automation. Let's try to verify if that is the case indeed. And seems like it because I think my laptop's width is 1920 pixels times 1080 pixels. So the next thing we're going to do is we want to see where our cursor, like at what location our cursor is, and this is essential if you want to draw or sketch things relative to your current or present mouse position. So we just go position, right? Um, so yeah, let's try running that and seeing what happens. So we get 1803 y is equal to 92. Now the thing is, while I can definitely move my mouse around before Python gets to execute its code and processes that current location of my mouse, and prints it here, I probably cannot get very far because Python is like execution happens really quickly. So what I can do instead, I can just ask Python to wait a few seconds, so maybe like 3 seconds. And in those 3 seconds, I can quickly move my mouse to wherever I want it to go so that I just get like the exact location that I was hoping to get. And let's try it now. So when I run it, I will have 3 seconds to put my mouse wherever, and then Python will tell me where, like the coordinates of where my mouse cursor is. So I'll just keep it here. Yeah, and then I get an x is equal to 400, y is equal to 430. It checks out. If you want, oh, there's one more thing that I wanted to share. I'm not gonna share like every single command because there's a really good tutorial that I'll put in the description for more information. If you wanna drag stuff around, then wait, are we using drags for this code? I don't think we're using drag, but maybe I can show you what it feels like to scroll through. Python by auto GUI dot scroll. So this is a syntax we will be using today. Scroll, and then we have the scroll extent. So an integer could be negative, could be positive. So negative integers would lead you to scrolling down. Positive integers scroll up, which is weird. I don't know why. Um, and then there's like time duration as to how long should you wait until it happens another time. Sorry, I think how long until that specific scroll happens. So we are not going to use the scroll duration function. We're just going to try scrolling just like that. So we are still going to use sleep just so that I can quickly run and get to this window. And then let's just see what happens. I'm not explaining very well today. But whatever, let's just get to the execution. So it's gonna take 3 seconds, and you see this quick scroll. In order to make it a bit more obvious, what I can do is I'll make it 100 minus 100, and then I'll just wait until 3 seconds until it scrolls. That's good. If I wanted to scroll up, then what I could do is just go 100 and then quickly run to my window and wait for it to scroll up. Okay, so we've got this working. Now that we've got this working, it's very simple to automate your code. So what we can do is just put it in a while loop. So while actually I is equals to 0. I don't know if we actually need it, but sure. While I less than probably 100. Oh, yep. And then we just indent this in, delete that space. So what we want to do is we want by pyautogui to scroll down. So we need a minus 100. Then wait a bit for us to read what's going on in that panel and then do it again. So we need to bring sleep below the scroll. And that's what we will do right now. Yeah, that should be good. And let's just run it and see how it's going. Oh wow. I definitely forgot to. Oh, there's something else. I'll just wait until I shared that bit of information. But let's just add a time sleep first, so that I've got 3 seconds to quickly run over to the window. Yeah, and then we just read. So as you can see, it will probably keep scrolling. It'll scroll 100 times. Um, so now the issue with this is I'm a very quick reader when it comes to webtoons, especially since usually it's a lot of images. So I think the speed is a bit slow. So let's try to find out the best speed. But before we do that, how do we quit this code? That's very simple. So by AutoGUI has this feature called a fail safe, which means that anytime you want to abort your piece of code, you can just do it by moving your mouse to one of the corners of your screen and waiting long enough until you get a fail safe notification like the one over here. So let's do that. Just wait until the failsafe message shows up. But I have a suspicion that my code probably stopped working when. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Yeah. So here it is. Failsafe was triggered, and now we are good to modify our code a little bit. So maybe I want it a bit more than 100, so maybe 200. I don't really know what's the optimal speed for me, but let's try it out. Yeah, it's too slow. Not bad, but slow. I would definitely get annoyed at one point, but not bad. It's just a bit clunk. I don't know if clunky is the right word, but it's the like scrolls are not very smooth. So maybe we might wanna reduce the sleep time to probably 2 and increase the scroll extent to somewhere around 300. Let's try that. But let's enable failsafe first. Yeah, perfect. So let's change that to 2. Let's see if that actually makes a difference, to be honest. And this is a pretty good webtoon. I like it. In case you're interested in reading, you should read it. Yeah, not bad. Um, we probably want to increase the speed. So failsafe has been enabled. Let's try 300. I feel like now it might be a speed contest at this point to see how quickly I can read. Yeah, I think this is so much better. What happens if I reduce my sleep time and have like 1 as my sleep time? Failsafe is not enabled. That's weird. Oh well. Um, so let's try. Let's actually get rid of time sleep. Try it again. Oh, okay, okay. Maybe do not get rid of it. Sorry, this is probably less of a tutorial and me just playing around and seeing what's a good speed for my reading. Much better. Maybe 0.5 would be good. 0.5. Oh, I like it. It's a bit fast. So maybe I would go 0.75, actually 0.8, and about 250 here. Oh, I love it. This is so good. This is a good one. But this also means that I pretty much have to focus. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not as good as normal scrolling would be, but I cannot complain. What if I had 300 instead? Because I don't think I would. I've read this chapter already, but maybe if it was a new chapter, I probably wouldn't understand if it was scrolling at this speed. Yeah, I think this is so much better. But this is essentially how you create your Webtoon auto scroller. It's literally 5 lines of code, but it makes life so much easier. So yeah, that's it. I will in the description I will link some other useful videos on documents that I found helpful about biology UI, and I'll probably be back with more fun, practical little projects that I've been up to. So for now, we're just gonna fail safe and enable fail safe, and I'll just go grab dinner since I'm done with recording.